Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. Now, it's technically morning, but Sunday night for me. It's 12:45 a.m. So obviously not my usual time, usual place, not usual time. So, thing I'll say about this: the Astros, obviously tomorrow's Memorial Day. It's technically today now, but the Astros play at 3 p.m. So I couldn't do my usual Monday routine when it comes to my Astros recap here. So, yes, it is 12:45 a.m. I'll probably take it in the 1 o'clock hour here, but get this out, posted, new content early Monday morning for a 3 p.m. first pitch for the Astros. So yeah, fan once again blowing over here. Face, a little shiny, a little red. Hair all over the place. I just got out of the shower, so that's the reason for all that. So, yes. But anyway, Astros 4-2 this week. I take that every time they play 6 games. So, 4-2, I'll take it, but not the conventional way you'd expect. Usually 2 of 3, 2 of 3. Astros did not do that. They lost 2 of 3 and then swept the A's. So, but that's 3 weeks in a row where they've had winning records. I mean, 4-2, you know, when they played the... I gotta think about this now. They beat the White Sox 2 of 3 after beating... Alright. Didn't want to pull out the phone. But basically what I'm saying is they've won 3 straight winning weeks. They went 4-2, 6-0, and now 4-2 again. So that's 3 straight good weeks in a row for the team that I will take every time. If they could do it the rest of the year, I'd take it every single time. So, but I got to go way back here to look at... at this for a second here. I'm not even there yet. But yeah, the Angels. Okay, yeah, they took 2 of 3 from the Angels, then 2 of 3 over the weekend against the White Sox to go 4-2 3 weeks ago. 6-0 undefeated week last week, and then 4-2 this week to catch it back up. Disappointing Brewers series. They actually got off to a good start up in Milwaukee, but the bats exploded in the first game. They scored 12 runs, which is their season high. Now I gotta scroll all the way back. So, okay, I went too far. This is just, yeah. 12-2 was the final. So the offensive bats broke out. They hit 5 home runs. So, I mean, they did a lot of damage and got things off out on the right foot there. That was a Christian Javier start. He got the win. He was good. Of course, you know, he scored some runs. Really, the 5-run 6th was the big inning for the Astros there, but, you know, they trying to see if I can get a box. Just some of the runs here. God, things are just never easy. Things are just never easy. But Jolks hit a home run. Maldonado hit a home run. Dubon hit a home run. Alvarez hit 2 home runs. And, yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, Maldi, Jolks, Dubon, and Alvarez with 2. So, yeah, Astros, you know, most years, the last 6, 7, whatever it's been, the Astros usually are top 5 in home runs and just overall offense. But that hadn't been the case leading up to this year. We've talked about this all year. The Astros' issue this year has been on the offensive side of things. The pitching has been fine, with the exception of Rafael Montero. But other than that, things have been fine. So it's just finding consistent offense. I mean, Abreu and Bregman have been nothing all year. That's a problem. They can't be problems. So, yes. You know, Bregman's sort of been off and on a little bit more lately, which is better than what he was giving you, but there's real no consistency with Bregman. He'll have a good series, and then he'll disappear for a series. He'll have a good series, and then he's gone back and forth, I feel like. So, like, he had a good Cubs series, and then he's struggling against the A's, which is a team you really shouldn't struggle against. He was okay with the Brewers. Not great, but he had a pretty good series this past weekend. So, anyway, Bregman, we need more consistency, and you got to show up because you haven't all year, basically. Same thing with Abreu. But Abreu finally hit a home run today, so which we'll talk about that coming up. But never fails. The Astros score 12 runs in Monday's game, and then they get shut out on Tuesday. I feared that before it happened, but the Astros seem to do that quite often. It's a weird sort of myth type thing. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it, but you come out with a big offensive outburst one game, you usually return, and things sort of even out the next day. So, yes, which actually scares me with tomorrow's game because the Astros scored 10 runs. They jump on a plane, they come back home. They're probably asleep at this point, I'd assume, but the offense for tomorrow afternoon's game will scare me a little. We'll wait and see. Also, they face a pretty good pitcher, which we'll also get to in a minute. But not only get shut out Tuesday, but Wednesday as well. Hard to win when you can't score. And the Astros sort of Achilles heel all year. Their offense. Sometimes they disappear, sometimes they show up. It's been very frustrating to watch the offense try to have any consistency this year because they really haven't done it. So that was a disappointing end to the Brewers series. I thought they could bounce back on Wednesday and take the finale, take 2 or 3, and I would have felt great about where they were at if they could have done that, but couldn't do it. You ruined 2 good starts. I mean, J.P. France was very good. Montero blew up the game. Now, they're already down 2-0, but Montero made damn well sure you had no chance of coming back in Tuesday's game. But J.P. France's line was good enough to get the win. I mean, I'll even get it for you here. But, I mean, he only allowed 2 runs. Bounced back after that tough Cubs game. God, I can't get dates right on the stupid thing here. But J.P. France went 5 2/3. 2 runs, only 1 was earned. Struck out 8, walked 1. He was good. But he got the loss because the offense didn't hit. Phil Maton got 4 outs, struck out 3. He's been amazing all year. And then Montero gives up 400 runs. So that's what Montero's been this year. He's been abysmally. He's been a disgrace to the relief pitching profession this year. He's been awful. And I hate the excuse, just to go continue with Montero for a second. I don't know if Twitter talks about this or what. Maybe I'm just following Twitter's lead here. But I get these statements of this thing that people that are actually defending Montero, which is stupid. Why would you defend a guy who's been this bad this year? But I hear the expression, well, Dusty had to use him, or they had to use him. No, you don't have to use him. You have 7 relievers. You don't have to use Montero. Like, Montero pitched today. This is a game where I have no problem seeing Montero. In a game where you're blowing out the opposition, that's when you use Montero. I would not use Montero in any close game, whether we're up 2, down 2, whether it's tied, anything in that range in late innings, I'm not doing it. You don't have to use Montero. He stinks. I mean, that's that. If you want to build his confidence up, let him pitch in non-stressful situations. Teams up big, down big. That's how you build his confidence back up. And if he succeeds in those situations, then you can sort of move him back in to a role maybe in a more high leverage situation. But right now he hasn't deserved it. And you got guys that can pitch in high leverage. Those guys are Brian Abreu. Phil Maton needs to see more late inning work, I feel like. And Hector Neris. That is bridging the gap from your starter to Presley in tight, 1-run, close ball games. That's the way it should sort of work its way out. Montero should not see the field in any one of those games. And if he does, that's on Dusty Baker. Don't want to get worked up. It's too late to get worked up, but I had to throw that out there. But yeah, the shutout again Wednesday. Bielak was good. He actually gave them some length, but his line looks a lot worse than it actually ended up being because he gave up 2 home runs there in the 7th inning, and they had to pull him. So it was 4 earned. Not great. ERA's at 3.55 though, and I'll take that ERA any day of the week from Bielak. But yeah, I mean, that's what you're rolling with right now. That's the way it's going to be. I'm fine with J.P. France. He pitches tomorrow too, so we'll see him again his one home start was the one where he got blown up with the Cubs. And the game the Astros still won, but it'll be good to see France get the ball. Hopefully pitch well tomorrow. But what concerns me tomorrow more so is the offense than anything else. But yeah, I thought France and Belak pitched good enough. Belak probably wouldn't have pitched the 7th had it been a tie game or if the Astros were leading. But I think being down 2-0 at the time, I mean, his pitch count was low, so maybe he goes out there. But I don't know. The line, the 4 earned, doesn't look good. Missed out on the quality start. But again, the offense didn't show up. So, I mean, you don't win games when you score 0 runs. So Tuesday and Wednesday's games, the losses there are attributed to the offense 100. Well, I won't say 100%, but they I mean, just you can't score 1 run. So yeah, the offense. Friday and Saturday they didn't play amazing. They played okay, scoring 5 runs on Friday night. Let's see here if I can find this stupid. I don't like the way they do this app. I used to look at, let's see if that works, summary. I used to look at summary. Jolks had an RBI single, Bregman RBI single, Jolks 2 runs single. Jolks has been good for him lately. Even today. I think today was pretty good too. 5-2, low stress game. Hunter Brown gets the win. He's now 5-1. 3.12 ERA there for him, so Hunter Brown's looked good for the most part. Saturday, 6-3, had the big 2-run home run by Pena in the first, and the big bases clearing double by Bregman there in the 8th really opened up the game. Brian Abreu struggled in his inning of work. Presley actually, Presley now has 10 saves. Surprising that because he stuck at 3, it seemed like, the first month of the year. He picked it up a little bit. Presley's been pretty solid his last handful of times out here. Let's see if I can get you his stats here. But the ERA has now climbed under, or I should say has dropped under 2 for Presley. And he hasn't blown a save all year, so he's been good. But we've talked about Presley, and it seems like there's always something wrong with Presley, whether it's an illness, whether it's a nagging injury. If he can stay healthy, I have no problem with him closing out games. I have mentioned Abreu being the closer, which I think is not a bad option. In fact, I would do it. He did struggle in this particular game, but it's the A's again. So it's the A's. And then today, the big breakout game, obviously 10-1, hit 7 home runs. So Altuve gets his first of the year. Pena hit 1. Alvarez had 2. Then you had Jake Myers, Chas McCormick, and who else hit a home run? Who else hit a home run? Who am I forgetting? Chas McCormick. Oh, Jose Abreu hits his first home run, and it was kind of an interesting home run he hit because he sprinted around second, third. Like he sprinted. It was a weird thing for him, but finally, I'm hoping that's a sign of things to come. I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that is a sign of things to come, but yeah, that's his first home run in more than a year, basically. So, and then the A's didn't like the fact that he sprinted around second and third and sort of slid. He slid like feet first back, right where the warning track dirt is to the Astros dugout. And most of the team was outside the dugout to congratulate him finally. But the A's hit him late in the game. That was totally intentional. I didn't really care a whole lot. Not a big deal for me, but they didn't like his celebration, I guess, which, I guess they didn't like him sprinting around the bases. But, I mean, that's better than a guy taking his time, right? Because there's some guys that their home run trots just take forever. That'd be more bothersome to me than a guy that sprints around. But that's just me. I'm not going to make excuses for Bregman or Abreu. But 7 home runs. So, yeah, Alvarez had 2. Abreu got his first. Altuve, Pena, McCormick, Myers, 7 home runs. Really broke things open in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, scoring 2, 1, and then 3 in those 3 innings there. Javier was good. ERA for him has dropped under 3, and he's 6-1. So I didn't bring up Valdez, who wasn't great. He did get the win on Saturday there, but he didn't go very deep. He only went. Let's see here if I can find this easy enough here. 6 innings, actually, not bad. 4 hits, 1 earned run, walked 3, a little bit this year, struck out 5. Fine. Javier was great today. Javier's been great the entire month of May. So, good to see. Javier's a little shaky his first few times out. Valdez has been good. Record says otherwise because he's only 5-4. And you got Hunter Brown who's 5-1 and Javier is 6-1. But, I mean, yeah. Valdez still leads them all in ERA, which I think is I look at ERA as a pretty good indicator of how good a pitcher is. I feel like that's a pretty fair stat, if you ask me. But, yeah. So, things going well. The Astros now are 10 games over 500 at 31-21. Now, the Rangers keep winning, so they're still 2 games back in the division. I don't know about the Rangers. Are they good or are they bad? Now, their offense is very good this year, or so far it has been. I haven't kept up with the Rangers games other than watching them to see if the Astros can pick up a game on them here and there. But again, it's still early to look at the division. Just continue to win series and you'll be fine, I think. But yeah, the Astros in second place. I think they hold a wild card spot. Again, early to look at, but yeah, they'd be a second wild card team right now. So, but the Astros now obviously come back home, so I'm sure they're sleeping nicely in their beds at home right now. Hopefully the offense shows up tomorrow. We'll wait to see that, obviously. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the offense. And if they put up a big old goose egg, that'll be disappointing tomorrow. They face Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's 4-0 this year, ERA under 2, so he's good. I want to see JP France have a good start at home. Obviously, three of his 4 starts have been out on the road. Now, his 3 road starts have been good. You'd think he pitched better at home. Second start, we'll see how he does. But the offense got to show up tomorrow. That's simple. You got to at least score 2 or 3. Score enough to at least give JP France a shot, But Sonny Gray might be a tough customer. We'll wait and see. Yeah. Astros also don't have an off day for a while. So every week, with the exception of opening day, they've had every Thursday off, with the exception of opening day. They've talked about a 6-man rotation. So Ronel Blanco is a guy I guess got sent down because I hadn't seen him pitch out of the bullpen. Now, he made that opening day roster. I don't know when he got sent down, but apparently he did. He's going to be that 6th guy. So you'll go France tomorrow. You'll go Belak Tuesday. Then you'll go Hunter Brown Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Then do you go back to the top with Fromber? I mean, Ronel Blanco will be mixed in there somewhere. It might be after Javier on Friday, for all I know. But I think for the 17-game stretch with no days off coming up here, they're going to go 6-man rotation. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. We've seen Blanco out of the bullpen, kind of shaky. I don't know if he's had I would assume that he's had starting his experience maybe throughout the minor leagues, because why else would you pick him to do this? So, but the Astros, are trying to give people 17 straight days. I don't necessarily think you need a 6-man rotation right now, although I think that's what they've hinted at. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, they got to play the next 2 Thursdays, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But again, Brayu, see if something comes of that. I'm not going to start, banging the Brayu drum quite yet. He's had 1 game where he hit 1 home run. He hasn't done much of anything else other than that still. other than finally getting off that, getting off the schneid there. So, yeah, I've covered basically. I'm trying to think here. I mean, I went through a lot of the starters. Altuve's still working his way back. Got his first home run today. Pena. Let me give you a quick average update here while I got things going here. If I can get that for you. But Altuve hitting 370, so OPS over 1,000. So Altuve's turned it up. He'll be fine hitting leadoff. Pena, again, 247. Like the average to actually creep over 250 for me to be okay. But Pena could be better at the plate. Now, he's hit some home runs this year. He got like 8 home runs. Yeah, 8 home runs. So he's on pace to hit at least 20, which is, I guess, what I'd expect. But I need that average to not only be at 250, but stay over 250 for the entire year for me to be okay with Pena. But Pena's not an issue. Alvarez hit 2 more home runs today. Alvarez, 291 average. I'll definitely take that. 14 home runs, 48 RBIs. He's got an OPS over 1,000, so Alvarez has obviously been their best hitter. Bregman, 235. That needs to be better. It's actually gone up a little bit from last week, I think, when I talked to you. But he had an 0 for today. No, he had 1 hit. Okay, he had 1 hit. But in 5 at-bats, he had 1 hit. That's hitting 200. Yeah. Bregman needs to be better. Abreu, his 1 hit, his 1 home run, 214. That needs to get a lot better. Jolks, 276. I'll take that. A guy that doesn't hit every day, Jolks, shown some pop, had some, RBI hits. I like what Jolks has done so far this year. So, as a utility outfielder for the team, I think 276, that's more than acceptable. OPS could be better, but 691 OPS, but 276, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs. Again, doesn't play every day. I like Jolks. Diaz needs to get more starts behind home plate. He only had 1 hit today, hitting 220. But I'd like to see him over Moldy. We know how I feel about Moldy. Jake Myers, 256. That could be a little bit better. He had a big 3-run home run today. McCormick, 215. He also had a home run today. But again, I like Myers more than McCormick. But again, it's just the 2 guys in the lineup. Bregman and Abreu give you what they should be giving you based on what they're getting paid and where they hit in the lineup. I'll be okay with everything else, basically, because everything else is fine for me. Pitching's good. Montero shouldn't see significant playing time. As long as those things happen, I'm fine with the Astros. So, you talk about this team like it's interesting because you talk about the team like they're some below 500 struggling team, last in the division. But after 52 games, if you would have told me they've won 31 of those, I'd probably sign up for that. 31-21, 52 games in the books. They're almost through a third of the year. They're on pace to win at least 90-something games. I think my preseason prediction was 98 wins. So, yeah, they're basically on pace to almost do that. We'll wait and see. But again, you play the Twins for 3, and then you'll stay here at home, I think, to play, let's see here, LA for 4. So first 7-game week of the year. 5-2 will be the goal. Again, win your series, and you'll do it. But yeah, love to hear your comments. Let me get this video out very early this morning, probably 5 or 6. So for you early risers, I will not be one of them because it's now 1:09. I'll be sleeping until probably 11 at least. But for the early risers out there, take a look at the video, comment section below, like it, share with your friends, all the good stuff there is there on YouTube. Again, rare Sunday night, early morning podcast for you, at least from my standpoint. But yeah, we'll wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next week.